Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jayo Narsimha Dev Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Narsimha Dev Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva Jayo Subhadra Devi Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajavacharya Ashtottara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Sanstapaka Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Acharya Vrind Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय नवदीप धाम की जय मायापुर धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 3, titled The Lord's Pastimes Out of Vrindavan, Text 28. Annam coru-rasaṁ tebhyo dattvā bhagavat-arpaṇam go-viprārthāsavaḥ śūrāḥ praṇemur bhuvi mūrdhabhiḥ annam coru-rasaṁ tebhyo dattvā bhagavat-arpaṇam go-viprārthāsavaḥ śūrāḥ praṇemur bhuvi mūrdhabhiḥ annam coru-rasaṁ tebhyo dattvā bhagavat-arpaṇam go-viprārthāsavaḥ praṇemur bhuvi mūrdhabhiḥ Vaishnavis. Annam, foodstuff, cha, also, uru-rasam, highly delicious, tebhyaḥ, unto the brāhmaṇas, dattvā, after supplying, bhagavat-arpaṇam, which was first offered to the Personality of Godhead. Go, cows, vipra, brāhmaṇas, artha, purpose, asavaḥ, purpose of living, śūrāḥ, all the valiant kṣatriyas, praṇemur, offered obeisances, bhuvi, touching the ground, mūrdhabhiḥ, with their heads. Translation, please repeat. Thereafter, they offered the brāhmaṇas highly delicious foodstuffs, first offered to the Personality of Godhead, and offered their respectful obeisances by touching their heads to the ground. They lived perfectly by protecting the cows and the brāhmaṇas. The behavior exhibited by the descendants of Yadu in the pilgrimage site of Prabhasa was highly cultured and exactly to the point of human perfection. The perfection of human life is attained by following three principles of civilization: protecting the cows, maintaining the Brahminical culture, and above all, becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. Without becoming a devotee of the Lord, one cannot perfect one's human life. The perfection of human life is to be elevated to the spiritual world, where there is no birth, no death, no disease, and no old age. That is the highest perfectional aim of human life. Without this aim, any amount of material advancement in so-called comforts can only bring the defeat of human form of life. Brāhmaṇas and Vaishnavas do not accept any foodstuff which is not first offered to the Personality of Godhead. Foodstuff offered to the Lord is accepted by the devotees as the mercy of the Lord. After all, the Lord supplies all kind of foodstuff, both to human beings and to other animals. The human being must be conscious of the fact that all foodstuffs, namely grains, vegetables, milk, water, etc., the prime necessities of life, are supplied for mankind by the Lord, and such foodstuffs cannot be manufactured by any scientist or materialist in a laboratory or factory established by human effort. The intelligent class of men are called brāhmaṇas, and those who have realized the absolute truth in his supreme personal feature are called Vaishnavas. But both of them accept foodstuffs which are the remnants of sacrifice. Sacrifice is ultimately meant to satisfy the Yajna Purusha, Vishnu. In Bhagavad Gita 3:13, it is said that one who accepts foodstuff as the remnants of sacrifice is freed from all sinful reactions, and one who cooks foodstuffs for maintenance of his body and takes in all kinds of sins which lead only to suffering. The foodstuffs prepared by the Yadus at the Prabhasa pilgrimage site to offer to the bona fide Brāhmaṇas there were all offered to the Personality of Godhead Vishnu. The Yadus offered their sincere obeisances by touching their heads to the ground. The Yadus or any enlightened family in Vedic culture are trained for attainment of human perfection by total cooperation of service between the different divisions of social orders. The word uru-rasam is also significant here. Hundreds of delicacies can be prepared simply by the combination of grains, vegetables, and milk. All such preparations are in mode of goodness and therefore may be offered to the Personality of Godhead. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord accepts only foodstuffs which are within the range of fruits, flowers, leaves, and liquids, provided they are offered in complete devotional service. Devotional service is the only criteria for bona fide offering to the Lord. The Lord assures that he positively eats such foodstuffs offered by the devotees. So, judging from all sides, the Yadus were perfectly trained, civilized persons, and their being cursed by the Brahmana sages was only by the desire of the Lord. The whole incident was a warning to all concerned that no one should behave lightly with Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of 3rd canto, 3rd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Lord's Pastimes Out of Vrindavana. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Vancha Kalpatarubhayascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this chapter entitled The Lord's Pastimes Out of Vrindavana starts with the Krishna's first pastime of going to Mathura to kill Kamsa. And then there is description of Krishna going to Gurukula and studying under the guidance of Sandipani Muni and gifting him something that is humanly impossible to gift as Guru Dakshina to the teacher. Then there is description of Rukmini Vivaha and how he married Nagnajiti and how he pleased his other wife Satyabhama by bringing the Parijata flower, and how he killed many demons. There is a particular description of how he killed Narakasura and brought back the 16,108 princes who were kept captive and married them all in very opulent ceremonies in 16,108 palaces. And he begot in the womb of each of those 16,108 queens 10 children who were similar to him in quality. And then there is, from verse 15 onwards, there is a short description of the Maushala Leela, the disappearance pastime, how the Lord decides to wind up his pastime in this material world, and for that purpose he causes the Brahmanas and the sages to curse the Yadus. The Yadu boys playfully put a wooden club and go to the Brahmana and say, oh, this lady, they have a wooden club in Samba, has a iron club in his belly, and he dresses up as a pregnant woman. And they're going to the Brahmanas and asking, can you please use your drishti, the ability to see future, and tell what kind of child this pregnant lady is going to beget. And the sages were able to understand that these boys were teasing them. So they become angry by the will of the Lord, and they curse that whatever comes out of the womb of this boy will become the cause of death of the entire Yadu dynasty. And the boys, they become very scared, and they go and report it to Ugrasena, what happened. And Ugrasena orders that the iron club should be powdered and thrown into the ocean. And eventually it lands in the shore, where it grows along with grass, and it becomes very hard kind of grass. In Prabhasha Kshetra, that is the kind of grass that they find. And Krishna, by his will, led all these Yadus to Prabhasha Kshetra, encouraging them to worship the Brahmanas and cows, to protect themselves from the effects of this curse. So in the last verse, we saw how the brāhmaṇas were not only well fed, but they were given cows in charity, gold, bedding, clothing, animal skin, seeds, blankets, horses, elephants, girls, and sufficient land for maintenance. And in this verse, there is particularly talk about them being fed prasadam, and then how the yadus were protecting the brāhmaṇas, and they lived perfectly by protecting the cows and the brāhmaṇas. And Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of this verse, says, the perfection of human life is attained by following 3 principles of civilization: protecting the cows, maintaining the Brahmanical culture, and above all, becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. So these are 3 things that the yadus headed by Krishna practice and showed us by their personal example. So protecting the cows, why is protecting cows important? Krishna is worshipped by a mantra from Vishnu Purana, Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So Namo Brahmanya Devaya means Krishna is worshipped, Krishna is accepted as worshipable Lord by the Brahmanas. And Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, go is cows, Brahmanas are the intelligent class of devotees. Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. He is always there as their well-wisher and protector. And Jagat Hitaya, he is the benefactor of the entire world. And Krishna Govindaya Namo Namaha, offering obeisances repeatedly again and again to that Lord who is called as Krishna and Govinda. So Govinda means one who gives pleasure to cows. So why are cows so special? Cows play a very significant role both in the material well-being and spiritual well-being of human beings. If we just simply look at the material aspect of a cow, we know that cow's milk, Prabhupada has mentioned in many purports that if one drinks warm cow's milk in the night, then it helps in the development of fine brain tissues that help one understand higher subject matters, like the topics about God. So, and then yogurt, even as per science, is filled with probiotic values. There are microorganisms that are meant for gut health, naturally available in yogurt. And it cools down the body, it cools down the mind, and makes thinking clear. And it is loaded with a lot of good fat. Butter is another thing that is very, very popular in Indian kitchen, at least, paneer butter masala, butter naan, and it is also loaded with a lot of good fat, and it takes care of the skin, and externally many good qualities, good benefits for the body. And then we have ghee, which has very high Ayurvedic medicinal usage. They drop it through the nostril, and it reaches the brain and triggers tissues that reduce blood pressure and sugar. I was just amazed to read the various benefits of ghee, and they cook herbs in it, and the ghee gets infused with those medicinal values, and it is easy for the body to absorb when these herbs, when they're carried by ghee. So like that ghee, just seeing on the body level, there is a lot of benefit. And ghee is also helpful to human beings in their worship of Lord Krishna. The Lord is bathed regularly with milk, yogurt, ghee, honey, and sugar water, and panchamrita, 5 nectars mixed together. The cow tail is used for when we do abhishek during Gaur Purnima. No? There is that powder of sesame seeds and rice. They use the cow tail to just splash, and then they use the cow tail to remove that greasy effect from the deity's form. And cow dung patties are used in the yagya kunda for worshipping, and delicious food is cooked for Krishna using ghee and butter and other milk products. Prabhupada talks about uru-rasam. Hundreds of food items can be simply prepared by combination of grains, vegetables, and milk. So in so many ways, cows products are useful to human beings for serving Krishna and externally for taking care of the body also. And cow is a very, very selfless creature. There is no other creature who transforms her milk, her blood into milk, so that some other species can survive. Many children whose mothers don't feed them milk, they all survive simply based on cow's milk. So this very selfless nature of cow, that she has milk not just for her calf, but there is always excess. Even after the calves drink enough milk from the mother, there is always excess. And that milk can be used by humans for their bodies and souls' nourishment. Because of this very selfless nature of cow, she is very dear to Krishna. And Krishna reciprocates with cows in a very intimate way. There is hardly any picture we will see where Krishna is not with cow. Krishna is called Govinda, somebody who gives pleasure to the cows. And how does he give pleasure to the cows? He knows each and every one of the 9 lakh. 9 lakh is 900,000 cows that were with Nanda Maharaj. 9 lakh cows were there, and he knew all of them. And if any one of them would get lost, Krishna will personally go and search for them and call them out by their name. And he would be so concerned. And when Mother Yashoda was preparing shoes for Krishna, so when he started going cow herding into the forest, Mother Yashoda wanted to give Krishna shoes to go to the forest. And Krishna says, only if you give shoes to all the cows, then I will wear shoes also. Otherwise, just like how my cows are without shoes and going to forest, I will also go without shoes. And Krishna, as Haridasa Varya, as Govardhan, he provides the cows of Vrindavan with pristine water, very fresh grass, and shaded caves for them to rest. And of course, Govardhan gives many things for the Leela of the Lord. But Krishna reciprocates with cows in a very personal way. Because the cows are very, very selfless. They are the ones who are working without any expectation for the well-being of humans and for the pleasure of the Lord. So taking care of cows is a part of civilized living. Then we have taking care of brāhmaṇas. That's the second point Prabhupada mentions. So there are 2 classes of brāhmaṇas. There is one class, smarta brāhmaṇas, who just are engaged in the dehi business. Dhanam dehi, rupam dehi, asham dehi, rupavati bharyam dehi this, dehi that. Give me this, give me that. Srila Prabhupada says God is not our order supplier. It's not, we go on Amazon or call up to the shop and say, this is my list. please give me this, and I'll pay you, So God is not like that. He is not our order supplier. Of course, the Vedic scriptures provide a lot of facilities for requesting God to give us many things. And it is okay to ask God instead of adapting some materialistic or demoniac way to get our needs fulfilled. At the same time, the higher class of brāhmaṇas are not the Dehi type, but they are the ones who are not asking, give me, give me, give me, but they are the ones who are giving. And that is the class of brāhmaṇas who are protected by the Lord. And Krishna says that the other class are alpamedasam. These are men with a small intelligence, that they simply think that they should get something from God. But the higher class of brāhmaṇas are the servants. And what do? They are doing patan, yajan, yajan. They are studying the scriptures, teaching scriptures to others, and they are worshipping the Lord, and they are helping others worship the Lord. They are teaching others or helping others to worship Lord. And danam pratigraha. They take charity and they use that charity in the service of the Lord. So like that, this class of people are also just like the cows, very selfless. They are in the mood to give. They are also not thinking, what can I get from Krishna? They are thinking, what can I give Krishna? And what best thing to give Krishna is making many, many devotees. So they are engaged in that. Teaching scriptures, teaching people to worship, utilizing the money that they get in the service of the Lord. So this class of people, how does Krishna reciprocate with them? Krishna reciprocates with them by becoming their property. Krishna is tvam akinchana gocharam. Janmaishwarya shrutashribir edamana madhapuman naivartiki adbitatum vai tvam akinchana gocharam. So you get a nice birth, good lineage, parentage, lot of money or big education or beauty. Queen Kunti in her prayer says, all these material things are actually obstruction to chanting the names of the Lord with the emotion. Oh Krishna, hey Govinda. You cannot call out with the sincere heart, because these material qualifications can make one puffed up. Of course, she had all of that and she knew how to utilize it in the service of Lord. But generally, this mentality of wanting these things becomes an obstacle to progression. An akinchana gocharam, one who does not have these inclinations, that is the class of Brahmana to whom Krishna belongs. Krishna gives himself, he extends himself. And these are not people who are Brahmanas by birth, or they do only yagya or something. They might be doing anything as their prescribed duty, but they have that Brahmanical culture of utilizing everything in the service of Lord. In Jagannath Puri, there was a devotee called Dasi Bauri, and he belonged to a low caste. So he wasn't allowed to enter the temple. When he would go, they would just shoo him away. But he was very, very fond of offering something to the Lord always. He always wanted to bring something. So one time he took a coconut and he gave to the brāhmaṇas who were in charge of offering. And he told, can you please give this coconut to Lord Jagannath? And you can tell him, if he wants, he can take it. Otherwise, you can bring it back. If Jagannath doesn't want the coconut, I will take it back. You can just tell him. So the pujari was very confident that Jagannath is not going to accept it. So he went and he put the coconut in front of the Lord and he said, this is from Dasi Bauri, and he said, if you want, you can accept it. If you don't want, he is willing to take it back. And Lord Jagannath extended his hand and accepted the coconut. And he became very famous after that. And all the pujaris were fighting to take a bhoga offering from Dasai Bauri to offer to Lord Jagannath, because they could see his level of devotion. And there is the same devotee, when he brought mangoes and he wanted to offer to Lord Jagannath, and because he is not allowed inside, he was standing outside and offering to the chakra of Lord Jagannath. And the pujaris were astonished because the mangoes were disappearing. He would just take an offer and it would disappear. And when they went inside, they saw all this mango peel and seeds, everything near the altar, and the Lord's face was dripping with mango juice. So that is the class of the one who wants to give. Brahminical culture is to be protected, means we should protect those devotees who are in the mindset of giving Krishna to everyone. They are not the people who want something from Krishna. Wanting from Krishna is absolutely fine. Better to want from Krishna than to want from others. But those class of people who are willing to go to any extent to serve the Lord, they propagate the culture, the Brahminical culture, and Krishna is always there to protect their interests. And by that unalloyed devotion, they purchase, the reciprocation the Lord gives is that he is purchased by their love. And the third item Prabhupada mentions here is becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. So why should one become pure devotee of the Lord? We automatically will become pure devotee of the Lord when we understand what is Lord's position. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloha maheshwaram. He is actually the master of every yagya and every tapasya, every austerity, every sacrifice you perform. Ultimately, he is the one who is enjoyer of it. You may be worshipping demigod, but the results are coming because Krishna is sanctioning. Wherever you may go and whomever you may ask, the sanctioning is done ultimately by Krishna. And Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the master of all universes. So it is, once we understand this position of Krishna, naturally we will want, if you know the Prime Minister and you can get directly things from him, you don't need to go to his secretary or other, whatever other ministers are there to get anything done. So it is natural for us to surrender to Krishna when we understand that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how do we do this surrender? Simply by following the footsteps of the Yadus headed by Krishna. Personally, Krishna has set example. They lived perfectly by protecting the cows and brāhmaṇas. They protected the cow. They lived in the Vedic society was agrarian. They got grains, milk and vegetables, and they cooked hundreds of uru-rasam, hundreds of varieties of preparations. And then they offered it to Krishna. And then this offered prasadam, they distributed to the brāhmaṇas. And they touched their head to the ground and they offered pranam, dandavat, and showed respect. And obviously, they heard, there is a lot of philosophical conversations. When we go to some holy place, it's not that we go there for seeing. We're not going there to see. We see holy places through our ear. So they hear from the brāhmaṇas. They hear how to surrender. And in the 10th canto, it is explained that Krishna knew that there was no breaking this curse. Of course, if Krishna wanted, there is a break for the curse. Even Parikshit could have broken the curse, but Krishna decided that in this situation, the curse is we are not going to the path of breaking the curse. We are going in the path of accepting the curse and all the consequences of the curse we are going to. So Krishna personally guided the Yadus, let us all go to Prabhasha Kshetra and let us all do this. Serve the brāhmaṇas, give them charity, give them land, give them servants, give them gold, give them bedding, clothing, animal skin, seeds, all of these things which are required for them to worship the Lord. And give them prasadam offered to the Lord. So many varieties of prasadam. Let's feed them sumptuously and let's just take shelter of them. And however this curse manifests, we will be still protected. We will still be taken care. So let us do it. Krishna personally guided the Yadus into taking care of the curse by surrendering to the cows and the brāhmaṇas. And how does Krishna reciprocate with the person who is aspiring to become a pure devotee? Krishna says, Yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will protect whatever they already have, and whatever they lack, I will bring. So there was a Brahmana Pandit who was teaching Bhagavad Gita to his students. So he was supposed to teach this 9:22, no? Then he says, oh, Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Said, oh, what does that mean? That Krishna will personally bring whatever I don't have? That doesn't suit God's nature, So he cut out the word in his notes. He cut out the word vahamyaham and he put the word karoti, which means I will get it done. Whatever the devotees have, I will protect. And whatever they don't have, I'll make sure that somehow it comes to them. It is not that I am carrying it for them. It's like Krishna is going to arrange for it. So that was his understanding. That is how he was going to teach the kids. So then he goes to bathe. He goes to a nearby village or something like that. And when he comes back, that night when he wasn't there in the house, the wife reported that there were a couple of boys who came. And they said, we are under your husband's care. And this is something your husband wanted us to bring. We are bringing this for your husband. So it had all kind of goodies, ghee and vegetables and fruits and all kind of things needed for household. And then that wife saw some mark on one of the boys' face. And she said, what happened? And then she said, it's your husband. He did this to me. So, oh, Krishna, is he like that? Did he do this to you? I'm gonna have a talk with him. So when the husband comes, she narrates this incident and said, what did you do? Why did you scratch the boy's face? And then the Brahmana actually realized that it was Krishna who carried personally whatever he wanted to run his household. Krishna had personally carried. And the scratch mark the boy had on his face was the scratch mark the Brahmana had made when he crossed out the word vahamyaham. I will personally carry it. So Krishna showed that it is not like an exaggerated statement. If you become a pure devotee, I will personally carry. And it is not that he will personally carry and provide you many, many material things. Sometimes the opposite may also happen, which is also vahamyaham. Yasyaham anugrahnami harishyetad dhanam sanai. If I am very, very merciful towards someone, I will take everything out. And that is also Krishna's protection. Srila Prabhupada lost his business, lost his family. The wife actually openly said, tea or me. She just took the tea and left him. So everything was lost. And that is Krishna's special mercy. Because if Krishna was not Arishye Tad Dhanam Sanai, Prabhupada would still be there in some pharmacy. Everything was gone, and the result is all the family members will reject this person. And when the person faces such rejection, he will take shelter of me. And that is how we got ISKCON. And then when he needs, he will also provide thousands of temples, farm communities, schools, Gurukula, and traveling Sankirtan party, food for life, prasadam distribution service. So many unlimited opulence can come. And when Krishna thinks that's not best, he can take out everything also. And that is how Krishna protects someone who wants to become his devotee. So summarizing, from the purport, we looked at three aspects for people who are for people who want perfection of human life. They should follow three principles of civilization. Protecting cows, because they are selfless creatures who give their own blood for the nourishment of some other species and for the service of the Lord. And the Lord reciprocates with the cow by giving them pleasure and by protecting them, gopala, by protecting them. And Brahminical culture, we talked about two types of brāhmaṇas, and the type of brahmana who is willing to extend the knowledge and spread Krishna consciousness. That is the person whom Krishna is very fond of, and the reciprocation is Krishna gives himself. Krishna will, he becomes bound by their love. And the third principle was to become a pure devotee of Krishna. And we become pure devotee of Krishna by go brāhmana hitaya. By Krishna is benefactor of cows and brāhmanas. So when we serve cows and brāhmanas, then Krishna is pleased with us. When we surrender to Krishna in that way, then Krishna protects us, reciprocates with us by yoga kṣemam vahamyaham. Whatever we need, whatever we have, he will protect, and whatever we need, he personally carries, or sometimes he may take out. And all of that is protection of Krishna. So with that, I'll conclude here. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If there are any comments or questions. Jai Prabhupada. Madhava. Yes, Prabhu. Akinchana Gocharam Srila Prabhupada translates as somebody who is materially exhausted. That's means Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, they are not fond of any of these things. These things mean nothing. These are all considered very important for a person who is materially inclined. So somebody who is materially exhausted is a person for whom these things don't mean anything. So that exactly is the word Srila Prabhupada uses, materially exhausted. Thank you for that, Prabhupada. The mic is not working. थैंक यू माता जी, थैंक यू। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
तो आशा रख के जितना अगर हम कर सकते हैं करना है। वी डोंट नो वॉट द फ्यूचर होल्ड्स। हमें पता नहीं कि भविष्य में क्या होने वाला है। वी डोंट नो वॉट द फ्यूचर होल्ड्स, बट वी कैन नो हु होल्ड्स